All right. Welcome in. This is Toilets to Titles. This is episode number 131. This evening, we are doing an SFB12 mock draft. We've assembled a crew, 12 of us. All right. 6 of us are going to be on the show, 6 of us are going to be drafting from the app. We're going to try to get as many rounds done as we can so we can try to help you be prepared to go into this Scott Fishbowl draft coming up. I think it starts July 11th. Well, some people are already drafting, I think, right? They have some drafts and live drafts, and George was telling me earlier there are 10 rounds, but we're trying to help you out. We're all in it. Everybody in the mock this evening is, so we're trying to help ourselves out too. We're up the creek. We're trying to find a paddle, but I'm going to introduce to you the gang that's going to be with me on air this evening. I'm going to start to my left if you're watching at home. And that's George Reed at George Reed FF, who will be drafting from the 8th slot this evening. George, how we doing?
Absolutely fantastic. Excited to be here. Excited to do this mock draft. I do have my Scott Fishbowl mock draft this Saturday. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody else that may or may not be on the panel. So I'll just say I'm doing the live one out of Orlando. Tonight I'm drafting from the 8th spot, but we just got assigned our draft positions earlier. And so I'm actually drafting out of the 9 for the actual Scott Fishbowl. So I'm happy with this mock doing it at the 8 because I figured not a whole lot of difference between 8 and 9.
Close enough. That's very. It's close enough. All right, excellent. So you're going to be in Orlando, and I believe with you in Orlando is Jason going to be there. So this is Jason at BFTG. Jason's going to be drafting from the 11th spot. Jason, are you going to be there with George?
I am going to be there with George. I'm in a different division as him. I got the 5 spot, so I'm a little bit different drafting tonight than where I'm drafting. So whoever's got the 5, and I'll pull that up here in a second, they better do me proud so I know where to go.
Well, that segues into the next guest, and that's Nino at Nino Brown _T2T. He's going to be drafting from the 5 spot. So is that too much pressure for you, Nino, or you think you can handle it?
I got it covered. I'm all set. I'm going to 5, but in my Boston division draft, I'm in the 6th spot, so I'll be all right. I'm ready to mock and make some mistakes. Let's do it.
This is the time. This is the time of practice. We make mistakes in practice, so we're prepared for the game. All right. And then with me as well, his second time on the show, our newest writer at Toilets to Titles, Chuck Steele himself at Chuck Steele 007007. Chuck, what's happening?
Oh, nothing much. I'm ready to mock and roll tonight.
Oh, with the zinger right out the gate. Did you prepare that? Did you say that one in the mirror like 15 times before you came on air this evening?
I did. I looked at my wife and I told her that's what I'm going with.
Yeah,
Man, this is my first show with Chuck, and I just got to admit, man, he's pretty punny. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I like it.
Someone's got to be.
I like it. I like the T-shirt too, Chuck. Let us see that T-shirt. Let everybody know where you got it.
I got this off of the RotoWare website, the Scott Fishbowl 12. It's fitting because I am representing the 12th spot in the draft.
Ooh, man, this guy's good. All right, then with us as well, we got Sean. It's his first time on the show and the first time on any podcast. So be gentle to this man. It's at Mandarin5447. He's also in the Frankenstein League, which is going pretty live right now. If you listened to the episode a few days ago, we are really kicking off. We're in the rock, paper, scissors competition right now, getting ready to decide draft order. And I found out he's in the Scott Fishbowl as well. He wanted to come on and help us out this evening. So, Sean, what's happening?
Not too much. I'll be drafting for the 9 spot tonight, but I am the actual 11th draft spot in the Jacksonville division. So I believe Jason is the 11th spot. So I'll gain some information from Jason tonight as far as what his strategy would be.
All right. So we got Orlando, we got Jacksonville, and then we got Jersey, New York, and Boston. So we have the East Coast, the top or the bottom, but both taken care of. All right. This episode, I know this is a big one because we're talking Scott Fishbowl 12, SFB 12. We're doing a mock, but it's also big because this is actually when this releases. I know a lot of you usually watch on YouTube, and we appreciate that. But we're also on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, all the audio listening apps, if you will. This is going to be the 250th episode to go on audio. So, man, we're going into year 3. So that's pretty exciting. I just want to mention that. I also want to mention if you have Apple Podcasts, subscribe to the show, throw us a 5-star review. That'd be greatly appreciated. And if you're watching on YouTube, comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be alerted every time we go live. All these guys on this show, minus Sean, they all have their own content. We got shows like 4 or 5 days a week, and we're touching on everything. Fantasy, college, NFL, betting, DFS, all that stuff. So you want to subscribe, you want to stay tuned in. If you came here for SFB12 content, great. Stay here for future football, fantasy football, all that sort of content. And also check out toiletstotitles.com. So, George, man, are we ready to kick this thing off? I think he's ready. I think he's in the lab. He's cooking something up. We ready, George?
Cooking.
Yes, he's shaking his head. Yes. All right. So I should probably introduce everybody who's drafting from home. I'm sorry, I didn't do this already. So we got Matt at FF_doormat. We got Alex at AlexO_FF. So in order, 1, 2, 3. My man Justin at JustinFF_. I'll be drafting 4. Nino 5. At Jared Gray, the second half of P2P is going to be drafting from the app. Andrew Campy, the mastermind behind toiletstotitles.com, drafting 7 from the app. Then George, then Sean, Nate, the dirt man at Nate_dirt19 from the app, and then Jason, and then Chuck Steele. So let me pull up this app here. Let me oh no, what'd I do? I thought I grew up. I just Apple computers, man. Too much technology. I'm swiping things left and right, and I'm not meaning to. All right, let's pull this up. We have the draft up on the screen. And, George, why don't you kick this thing off, man? Cut the ribbon.
I'm getting ready to go. I just was messaging everybody in the group chat to let them know that we are getting ready to start, and I want to let Matt know he's on the clock. And we are off and running.
Everyone make sure they mute the sound effects because Sleeper has some ridiculous sound effects. And, George, that was very responsible of you to send the message out. That is something that I should probably have thought to do.
I hate to be the responsible one on this panel. I feel like there's something going wrong there.
Somebody has to be.
There's a time and a place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amen.
So is this everybody here? Like, Coach, how many Scott Fish Bowls have you been a participant in?
So I was in 7 and 8. And then I haven't been in any since. So this is going to be my third.
Third. All right. Nino, this is your first, correct?
Oh yeah. I'm popping the cherry today.
not quite yet. You're not. You're getting there though. I don't know so I'm not showing that Matt is online.
Freaking Matt.
He is now.
So,
he just jumped in.
Okay,
all right,
good.
Matt.
Live.
Pull through,
Sean,
Matt. Pull through.
You gotta have faith, George. You gotta have faith.
I have no faith in humanity. Sean, this is your first. Is this your first FSB?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Chuck, is this yours?
This is my first.
Pause
Wow,
it. We
lots
gotta
of
pause
firsts.
it.
Look at this.
Did you get it in? I see time's up.
All right,
He got it. He got it.
Josh
He
Allen,
got it.
keep it going. That's fair. Fair game. Josh Allen,
Okay,
one overall. I like it.
He got it.
Let me resume it.
All right,
All
Alex.
right, now Alex is on the clock. Now
All
we're
right, so
moving.
it's gone Josh Allen. It's gone Justin Herbert for those listening at home.
So what?
Jonathan
So
Taylor,
for
third.
for the people here who are their first timers, what are you guys expecting? What is your strategy? Do you even have a strategy coming in with all these crazy rules that Scott has put in place?
Quarterback.
I just want Joe Burrow 4th overall. By the way, I'm going. I feel like you got to have 2 very accurate, touchdown heavy quarterbacks, guys who don't make a lot of mistakes.
Nino, what's your strategy, or do you have?
Yeah,
one?
well, I mean, I usually wait for the value, but I kind of got no choice in the matter here. So he makes mistakes, but I'm gonna go with Patty. Gotta take it.
So,
Kyler went 6.
so Nino. So you're drafting in Scott Fish Bowl at the 12 spot, right?
No, I'm drafting one spot back. I'm drafting at the 6.
Okay. All right. So you'd be happy if Mahomes fell to you at 6?
Yeah.
I don't think he will, but I'm just curious, because I know Jason and I were talking, and he drafts at 5. And Jason, so far what you see on the board here, drafting out of the 5 position actual draft. What would your thoughts be here? The way it started.
Yeah, so if I'm number 5, I'm pretty happy because I'm getting Patrick Mahomes. I'm getting, I'm looking at it. I'm getting Lamar Jackson. Those are the guys I'm looking for here. I'm getting either a guy who's going to throw a lot of touchdowns with Patrick Mahomes or a guy who's going to get you a lot of yards and first downs. Because guys, remember, you get points for first downs, and that's going to be a Lamar Jackson thing, right? Like yards on the ground and first downs. So, you'll get a lower pass volume, but you'll get a lot of the bonus that we all love on the ground. And with that, Campy went the way I'd go right there with that. So at 5, I loved that Mahomes was there. I might have actually taken Jackson over Mahomes though. And I want ground game here. I want first downs.
So it's gone, just for those listening at home. Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson so far off the board. We are 7 picks in.
So I'm on the clock, and when we actually do the Scott Fishbowl this weekend, I'm drafting out of 9. I'm sitting at 8. There's still some quarterbacks here that I absolutely would love to have. There's Jalen Hurts, there's Russell Wilson, and there's Dak Prescott and Tom Brady. Brady, he's not going to get you that running game, but he's going to throw the ball all over the place. And I think Jalen Hurts has the highest upside with rushing. I like Prescott and Wilson, but I actually think I'm going to go with a running back here. I want to try something out. I told Jason I would take him in the Scott Fishbowl at 9. So I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey. And if he's healthy, by far and away, he's the most valuable non-quarterback positional player in fantasy.
In this league, you have to swing for the fence. You're not trying to just have a solid season. How many teams are in this game?
Over 2,000.
Over 2,000 league. So to set yourself apart, you need to swing for the fence consistently, and you need to hit home runs. You need to hit dingers that. Not everybody's doing, and the risks that not everybody's taking. You can't just play it safe, in my opinion. And then, Sean, who did you go with your pick?
So my pick was Travis Kelsey. Given the tight end premium portion of this particular Scott Fishbowl, given the fact that you get an extra point for extra half point for first downs, and extra half point for receptions, it's going to make Kelsey, especially without Tyreek Hill, especially more valuable. My thought process was realistically, I have about 3 quarterbacks that I would willing to be drafting on the way back. So I knew Kelsey wasn't going to make it back there. So my option was either Cooper Kupp or Kelsey, and I went with Kelsey because I believe there will be increased volume there.
And there's the 3rd round reversal. So you'll be picking again soon, and then you'll be picking at the top of the draft in the 3rd round. So I like that. And then Nate went with Austin Eckler. So we have 3 running backs off the board, 1 tight end. The rest are quarterbacks. Boom. And there it is. There's Jalen Hurts, Jason.
So that's a swing. He's a back end, so he's a poor man's Lamar Jackson, right? But if you're looking for ground and quarterbacks towards the end of the 1st round, Jalen Hurts is your guy. Lower touchdown, lower passing volume. I think his legs are going to make him valuable here. Now, and then there goes another quarterback.
Well, with Jalen Hurts, I actually think he might have a better passing season just because of the weapons that they got there now with Devontae Smith, with A.J. Brown, and with Dallas Goedert. So I think that's interesting there. So Chuck went Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott back to back. So you got your quarterbacks, huh, man?
Yeah, I went double QBs. I was hoping Jalen Hurts would have fell in one more to me, but that's all right. We'll see what happens with 3rd round reversal. I'm going to have another quick pick coming up, so let's land those 2 QBs nice and early.
So this puts me in a tough spot, man, because there is a quarterback I want here, but being towards the end, he's way down on the list compared to what ADP would say here. So I'm probably not going to take him. I am going to take Tom Brady, tired old Tom Brady. So I've got a guy with legs. I'm going to take a guy who's going to throw touchdowns and just be accurate. So I'm getting 2 opposite types of quarterbacks here. And one of the reasons I can do this is because of that 3rd round reversal. I know I'm going to get either a stud wide receiver or a stud running back because it's going to come back to me much faster than a normal snake. So I'm going to go ahead and take a 2nd quarterback here.
I dig it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the Scott Fishbowl. you can never have enough quarterbacks, especially taking them early. You're going to get the ones that are most likely to put up big points, because the guys that are accurate is key, because you get a half point per completion, but minus a whole point per incompletion. And there are some weeks last year that my quarterbacks, I had Dak Prescott and I had I forget who the other quarterback I had. I had two really good quarterbacks. It was Dak Prescott and Aaron Rodgers. And there was a couple of weeks, people in my league, their quarterbacks were literally putting up negative numbers.
Yeah, that's not good. You don't want that. Nate, chalk. So Nate went with his guy, Aaron Rodgers. So Nate don't even care who Aaron Rodgers is throwing it to. Nate's drafting him. Full disclosure, big time Packer fan.
He's accurate. I mean, I have no problem with taking Aaron Rodgers as his QB1.
Question is, who's going to be his wide receiver one? Is it going to be Dobbs or is it going to be Watson? The buzz, I mean, obviously they took Watson earlier, but the buzz has been Dobbs.
Wait a minute.
Romeo.
What about Lazard? Because we all know Aaron Rodgers does not like to throw to wide receivers in the first year in Green Bay.
Yeah, Lazard can't. I mean, Lazard's. I don't think wide receiver one is an option for him. I think he's not a separator.
I don't think he's a separator either, but he's the guy that Rodgers is going to be most comfortable with off the rip. I've been hearing Romeo Doubs has been tearing it up in OTAs too.
Yeah, so. I don't think he's going to have a choice, Rodgers. He's going to have to pick a rookie to be comfortable with. Just out of what's available. So, Sean, where'd you go with your last selection?
So I went with the Cooper Cup. For me, it was one of those things where, as we were talking about, it's a giant tournament. So to win the tournament, you have to have a divergent strategy. My strategy is if everyone goes quarterback, to swing the other way, because there are quarterbacks within that 10 to 20 range who I believe could score within the top 6 range. So I went with the guy that I believe will have the highest production from the wide receiver. I think Jefferson has an opportunity, but right now the steady production is with Cooper Cup.
I think that's the first time anyone's used the phrase divergent strategy on this show. So home run right there. I love it. I take it. That is strong. Strong analysis.
So I'm sitting here looking at what is available, and I was honestly leaning towards another running back here. But I believe the guy I'm going to take actually has a very good chance at actually beating Kelsey as the number 1 tight end in the league. So I'm going to go with Mark Andrews. I absolutely was not expecting him to come back to me. So I'm very thrilled with getting Mark Andrews where I got him at in the second round.
All right. So we got 2 tight ends off the board now. Maybe a little bit of a run coming up. So we got Kelsey, we got Andrews, and then Campy, who went Lamar Jackson in the first round. He is on the clock now for the 6th selection.
I didn't want Campy to have the stack of Andrews and Jackson either.
All right.
I mean, that did not play anything into my selection, to be honest, but I'm going to go with I did that just to block Campy.
Speaking of stacks, are we going to be making fat stacks of pancakes when we're out there at the FF Expo in a few weeks or what?
I don't know about your guys' house, but ours is.
Man, we're going to be meeting up. I already saw to Justin that I'm sad he's not going to be staying at our house. We're going to be meeting up, man. Maybe I'll be like Santa Claus. I'll be bringing a sack of flapjacks over to you guys' house in the morning. All right, Campy went Matthew Stafford. He paired him up with Lamar Jackson. And then Jared went Kyle Pitts. He paired him up with Kyler Murray. So I think the sweet spot, these last, actually all these from Kelsey Cup, McCaffrey Andrews, Jackson Stafford, Murray Pitts. I love those pairings, and I'm starting to feel real bad about. Oh no, I just swiped again.
I am not. I wasn't. Maybe like 3 weeks ago, prior to that, I wasn't a big Derek Carr fan, but my man Wheel of Steel has sold me with his latest article.
What can I say?
I stick with my people, and I'm going with Derek Carr.
Man, that really, I feel like the quarterback room is empty now. It is absolutely empty.
Absolutely not. There's a guy super high on my list still.
I don't know.
He likes Kirk. He likes Kirk.
I do like Kirk. And if he came back to me, that would signal to me that I made the wrong pick in round 2, because I would be just as happy with Kirk in round 3 with Cooper Kupp or Mark Andrews is in round 2 than I would be with Tom Brady and whoever I end up picking. So we'll see if Kirk actually makes it back to me. But in this format with their new coaching staff and potentially their new throw-heavy philosophy,
Oh, yeah.
sign me up for Kirk.
I'm going to stack Burrow and Chase.
Nice.
All right, I got Burrow and Chase stacked right now.
So George and I talked about that earlier today. And we kind of came to the conclusion that we'd love to stack Burrow and T. Higgins and maybe get your second quarterback here or maybe a running back.
I would have went. I really wanted to go quarterback. I was hoping for Stafford and then I was hoping for Carr. But there's a few quarterbacks I like. But of the quarterbacks that I like, in my head, I'm not certain. I feel like it's a gamble for each of them. So I'm almost letting to see the cards how they fall before I take that one. Like I'm looking at Trey Lance. And I'm sure I think Trey Lance could be a winner in this or a loser. Like he's either going to be someone who helps a lot of people or hurts a lot of people. I don't think there's going to be any in between with him.
So I need one of you guys to talk me off the fence here on why I have a vibe that Mike Will is going to outscore T. Higgins this year. Why am I getting this vibe? I feel he's going to be better than Higgins.
You think Mike Williams?
Yes.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, Mike Williams, he's an ascending player. If he could stay healthy, Keenan Allen's not getting any younger. It's possible. I could see it. But Justin went with Derrick Henry, so he's stacked. He's got an interesting stack. So he's got 2 running backs, Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry, man. So Justin's a powerhouse right here. And then Alex went with Kirk Cousins. So he's got 2 quarterbacks, Justin Herbert and Kirk Cousins. And then Matt is on the clock now. So he's went Josh Allen in the first round, and he's back up.
Now I can tell you what this.
I think Kirk Cousins was the last of the
early tier.
Go ahead, Jason.
No, I was just gonna say. I can tell you what this did for me as a guy who's actually picking 5th overall. So looking at the 5th pick, it was Pat Mahomes and then Derek Carr. I was worried about not getting a quarterback if it went running back and maybe if Jonathan Taylor went to 5. It looks like he got 2 of the choices I would take there. It makes me. There's Justin Jefferson.
All right, Justin Jefferson.
I think. Hold on.
Oh.
I don't know if that was his actual pick.
It was because it had Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, I know. I removed Dalvin Cook and then he appeared. So I'm just gonna go over to the chat real quick just to confirm that's who he wanted.
There's always one guy.
He's got a green dot right now too. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's gone. Matt. We're gonna have to have a long talk with Matt.
He's mad at me because I didn't tag him.
Well, so he's Matt rebels.
He's on a boycott right now.
He said he picked Najee. He wants Najee.
Yep, I'll go ahead and I'll assign Najee for him.
All right, now here comes the 3rd round reversal. So the rich get
Chuck.
richer. Chuck Steele on the clock.
I'm ready for this.
JJ.
Okay, Chuck, where we going?
JJ.
It's still. Oh, there we go. I am going. Yep.
Justin Jefferson. There
That's
it
the
is.
man.
Okay, hold on. He's waiting on me. There you go.
Oh. George is he's RoboCopping right now.
He's pulling a Nino Brown.
Yeah, and Jason, you're on the clock. Jalen Hurts, Tom Brady. What's your next selection?
Yeah, so I would have taken Justin Jefferson there for sure. I'm going to take a guy I have really strong feelings about this year. It's a guy I actually liked better than Jonathan Taylor coming out. And then Jonathan Taylor blew up and it made me look silly, but I'm going to go ahead and take Swift here anyway.
Do it.
Lot of receptions out of that backfield, a lot of first downs. So I love Deandre Swift this year.
All right, there goes Deandre Swift and Nate,
Top 5.
the Dirt Man. I mean, a lot of people love Deandre Swift. He's probably one of the people I've heard the most about this offseason. There's a lot of people on that bandwagon this year.
I think the weapons added will help him, not hurt him.
Oh yeah.
Nate Nate might go Alan Lazard. Nope, he went Matt Ryan. He's got Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, and Austin Eckler. So now, Sean, you're on the clock, my friend. Oh, quick, Trey Lance. Tell me about him.
So Trey Lance is actually my favorite quarterback from this particular section of quarterbacks. just simply because if you're going to take a big swing, I mean, if they allow him to run 12 to 15 times a game, it's going to hurt Deebo Samuel. It's going to hurt George Kittle. But in a format like this, even if he finishes somewhere between 55 and 60% in completion percentage, the rushing totals and the rushing first downs and the rushing touchdowns will ultimately sort of pick him up into that Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson range. Lamar probably will have some touchdown progression, but you're probably talking somewhere between quarterback 8 and 12. I've seen him go on a lot of SFB mocks in the end of round 2 once Kirk Cousins is gone.
All right, so Trey Lance is off the board, and now George Reed is on the clock.
So I'm kicking back and forth on what I want to do here. I have not taken any quarterbacks yet, so
The
there's
cupboard's almost
always
there.
there's always no, the cupboard is bare. There's always that option. There's still just a host of wide receivers that I absolutely love available right now. And there's a host of running backs that I still love. And there's a tight end or two that I love as well. And with the scoring, I really could take another tight end, and I would not hate it, but I'm not going to. I am actually going to take another running back who I believe has the potential to catch upwards of 80 passes this year.
Aaron Jones is gone. Like it. All right. Now, Campy, who does have quarterbacks, he's got 2. He's got Lamar Jackson and Matthew Stafford. He is now on the clock. Wonder where he's going.
Will Aaron Jones lose the rushing to Dylan this year? Will Dylan surpass him?
No, I think you're going to be looking at a Nick Chubb, what's his name, Kareem Hunt type situation. I think both of them are viable options, to be honest.
And still get 80 passes because Hunt's the guy that catches the receptions while Chubb gets the odds. I mean, you're weighing a lot on Aaron Jones. Dylan's going to be watching?
Not particular roles. I'm talking about particular usage. So they're going to use a lot of Aaron Jones. They'll still use A.J. Dillon. As a matter of fact, A.J. Dillon is a better pass receiver than people give him credit for. I think he has something like 35 or 36 receptions last year. And so I expect him to have, honestly, upwards close to 50 receptions this year. I just think Aaron Jones is going to go out and he'll have about 80. And Aaron Jones, I still think they'll use him as a running back. They'll still use Dillon as a running back.
Captain Quad is going to get about 1,000 yards.
It's completely possible.
Oh, Coach, what did you do?
I keep swiping.
No swiping, Dora. No swiping.
Swiper, no swiper. Swiper, no swiper.
That's it.
The screen is someone's going to have to post, put that in the YouTube video post. They're going to have to post edit swiper in there every time I do that. All right. So George Kittle went to Campy. Jared went with Devontae Adams. And now, Nino, you're on the clock.
There's some stud running backs. Like, obviously, with the point system, I like Cook. I like Chubb a lot. But with the tight end premium, and I have Carr, I mean, I think, in my opinion, stupid not to take Darren Waller. So I'm going to go with Waller.
Oh, man.
Stack.
I was hoping Dalvin Cook would be there. I didn't think it would happen. I'm going to go with Dalvin Cook. So I got Burrow, Chase, Cook, and now Justin's on the clock. Do we think Justin goes running back again? He's got 2 running backs.
I think he goes quarterback.
Wide receiver.
To be honest.
Wide receiver.
I think he's looking at what's available at the quarterbacks, and I think he goes quarterback. He was not happy at all that Nate drafted Matt Ryan. So
Tua, maybe?
He's taking Diggs and Tua on the wrap.
Yeah.
I mean,
he'll take Tua.
He
will.
He
did it.
Listen, that completion percentage is no joke.
Yeah.
It's like 68.7 or something like that. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league.
To one side.
And to both sides. Shut up, Nino.
He only throws to one side.
He throws to both sides. Come on, he's a professional NFL quarterback. He can throw to both sides.
He throws to the right side about as much as Mac Jones threw against Buffalo.
There goes Justin Fields. I like it, Matt. I think that's another risky pick. But man, if he happens to hit, that could be huge. And then he stacks Fields, and then he goes Diggs back to back. There, Alex is back on the clock. So Alex went Joe Mixon. So Joe Mixon went 2 picks after Dalvin Cook. Alex is back on the clock. Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Excellent pick. All right, so now he's got both of his running backs. He got 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, and Justin is on the clock. I think I'm starting to feel like I should have went Cousins instead of Chase, but I mean, maybe I can make this work. But it's tough. Hawkinson or Schultz? I'm gonna go with my guy Dalton Schultz. I think he's gonna get peppered this season. They're gonna use him while he's on the franchise tag, and then they're gonna let the guy walk. So I'm going Dalton Schultz. Nino, you're on the clock.
I mean, wide receiver here. Running back. It's a lot. I love AJ Brown. I know he's not going to be there, but I'm gonna go with the redemption tour because Kamara's going to get suspended, so it's not worth it. I'm going to take Barkley, and I think that Dable will.
I love Barkley.
Get the best out of him.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
I think that's another player who like Lance. I think Barkley's either going to explode and help everybody, or I mean, he could be somebody who propels you into the playoffs if he hits, and he's due. All right, Jared,
I was hoping Barkley made it 3 more picks because I would have absolutely gone McCaffrey, Mark Andrews, Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley in my first 4 picks.
Listen, Mandarin's commentary on swinging big for the fences. He sold me there, so I went with it.
You have to. You're not playing against. That's one thing you got to remember when you're doing your actual draft. You're not playing against your league mates. I mean, you are, but you're also playing against over 2,000 other people.
Right.
So you have to take risk. You have to zig when everybody else is zagging. There's a reason I don't have any quarterbacks right now.
Right. I kind of go with like a best ball strategy with this. I might shoot me in the foot, but that's the way I'm rolling.
So CeeDee Lamb went after Saquon Barkley. So Jared now has 2 Oklahoma Sooners. I think we should expect 4 before we get to the 10th round. Campy went TJ Hawkinson. He's got back-to-back tight ends. So George, you were on the clock, man.
I am, and I am looking at what is available, and I'm not going to go quarterback. I'm going to be right up front about that. I'm punting quarterback here again.
Wow.
I know what I'm doing. There is a guy that I do want, and I'm going to go ahead and take him here. Mr. Mike Evans. Yep. I think with Chris Godwin, Godwin sitting out at the beginning of the season, I think he's going to lead so far what I've got into a very, very hot start to start the season.
What do you think the chances are that George takes Mac Jones?
Very, very low.
I will take Mac Jones in this format because
I knew
he doesn't have a whole lot of incompletions. When you throw the ball 1 or 2 yards, it's hard to have incompletions.
Sean, I like that Travis Etienne pick. You just slid it right in there. You want Etienne, and then look, so 2 sophomore running backs go back-to-back. We see Etienne go. We see Javonte Williams go. I like that.
Etienne is going to explode this year. Top 10.
I think he's going to be this year's version of Deandre Swift. He's going to come out, and everyone's going to have underdrafted him in the first 6 weeks. He'll be a top 5 running back.
Ooh, he's climbing right now. It's hard. People want first and plus.
I think I honestly think a lot of that is going to depend on James Robinson. If he can come back from that Achilles injury, much the way Akers did, he's going to eat into the production of what ETN does.
I don't think everybody's Cam Akers, first of all. And second of all, they're going to go through the tight ends, which is great for a running game. Peterson loves tight ends. So they're going to start through the tight ends, and then you're going to have ETN just smoking through the hole. And Snoop Khan is not a bad change of pace if James Robinson's not ready.
Yeah, a lot of it is going to depend on Robinson. Like I think you'll see a lot of ETN in the passing game, but I think short yardage and touchdown, which is where the money is at, I think you'll see a lot of that will be Robinson if he's healthy.
ETN had 70 career touchdowns, man. The guy could score.
That offense was like – everyone was worried.
That was an all-pro offense playing against scrubs in college.
And he was what the second best player on the team?
No. I don't think so. I think Justin Ross was a better college player than
in 1 year. ETN had 3.
I think he was a better player.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
are we talking about better players? Or are we talking about?
I said the stats in college. How are you going to say that he wasn't better than Ross?
You said stats or players? Because if we're comparing players, we're not talking about numbers. We're talking about actual product, like what they look like on the field. I thought on the field when Justin Ross was healthy, I thought he was a better player than Travis Etienne.
Wow.
Alvin Kamara went back with Chuck Steele, Alvin Kamara, then Ezekiel Elliott. And then Jason, he took A.J. Brown. He's got Deebo Samuel. And then Nate went David Montgomery. I like that. Sean went T. Higgins. And then George, you're on the clock.
So what I did, the reason I didn't take a quarterback in that last round was because I looked to see who was drafting after me. Everybody had 2 quarterbacks except for Sean. So I was kind of hedging my bets that Sean wasn't going to go quarterback. And he didn't. So I'm looking at quarterback at this point because I need to. There is a guy who, again, absolute upside pick here. He was absolutely phenomenal last year in the games that he played. He had 14 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions. He missed most of the season, but he is back, and he is the starter for New Orleans. So I'll be more than happy to take Jameis Winston at this point as my
They
QB.
got some weapons. Michael Thomas is back. Olave is there now.
Yep.
I mean, he did have a lot of turnovers in Tampa Bay. He did have one good year last year, but
that was in Tampa Bay. He's not playing in Tampa Bay no more.
It's also the 5th round.
That changes what he does for turnovers.
Well, it's the 5th round.
We're 14-3 last year.
Yeah, Sean Payton's gone.
That's okay.
Leonard Fournette to Campy. Jared went to Trevor Lawrence. That's where I was going to go. Screw you, Jared. Nino, you're on the clock.
Right. I did not think that he was going to make it to me. I was surprised. Oh, no, he didn't make it. I thought he was.
Much less surprised.
Man, now I'm back in a pickle again. I'm going to go wide receiver. And I hope that my guy starts because I don't like Trubisky. So I'm going to take Deontay.
Deontay Johnson. All right.
I thought about taking him over Winston. I'm
going to go with Mac Jones
to be honest.
Because I think if I don't take a quarterback here, I think Justin's going to take Mac Jones. So I need something. I'm going to go Mac Jones, and then I'm going to try to find somebody later with high upside just in case. But I got my second quarterback right there. Justin is now on the clock.
So this is one thing I'm absolutely loving is loading up on really high upside players early. And if you can squeeze in like a Jameis Winston as your QB1, like if Jameis Winston hits on this lineup that I've got, it's a great lineup.
Yeah.
It's a very, very big if.
Yeah. Because what are you playing for? Like
I'm playing against
the risk.
What are the odds you're going to win against 2,000 people? You have to take risk. We're sitting here telling you you've got to risk it. That's what Jameis Winston is. He's a risk. But I'm not playing against 12 other people. I'm playing against 2,000. So you have to take these gambles.
Playing the long game.
Matt is on the clock. He's got 2 selections. We will see if he goes down to the wire again. I think one of them is going to be a tight end because there's one left, I think, that really separates himself from the rest of them.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
What's that, quarterbacks?
No, tight end.
Tight ends.
Tight end.
Mm-hmm. So Chris is in the chat. Chris's videos, what's happening, man? It's nice to see you. We didn't hear back from you on Frankenstein, and unfortunately, we had to get that thing going. But stay with us. We'll get you in next year, all right? So I emailed you. I don't believe you got it. But Chris's videos is saying, does anybody else think that Herbert is way too overrated by fantasy football communities? Does anybody think that Justin Herbert's overrated?
Not at all. I think he's right where he should be.
In fantasy, no.
Every time, Matt. Every time.
What is he like? Why say you're going to do this and then just go to this every time? So he went up. Now we're reversed.
I'm waiting for him to tell me who he took.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the Herbert question, I could see Herbert finishing out of the top 6 in quarterbacks, but I mean, his ADP is still in the 5th round. So it's not like 3 or 4 years ago where you had Mahomes going in the 1st round or anything like that. Like if you're taking a quarterback in the 5th round and he ends up being 6 instead of 2 because he doesn't run the ball, I mean, overrated. He won't probably finish outside of the top 10, so he's not going to be a bust. So, I mean, it's really at that point, pick your guy.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
I agree.
So
And I think the offense is going to be the line's a little shirt up, the running game's shirt, like with Austin Eckler, and now they bring in Isaiah Spiller. You know, Josh Palmer should take a step this year. You know, Keenan Allen's still Keenan Allen. Mike Williams, you know, he's got a lot of weapons around him. So it's not just it's Justin Herbert's ability paired with everything he's got. That offensive lineman they drafted last year, was it from Northwestern or one of those schools that wears purple? I can't think of his name now.
Rashawn Slater. Dude, it was stud. Like stud. So I think he's got a lot around him.
What's going on?
I know
Yeah.
it's paused, Matt. Tell me who you want.
It's paused. Yes, we know it's paused, Matt, because you timed out.
They also that showed up that defense, so defense shouldn't be allowing as many points. So I feel
Take a lot of pressure off of them.
exactly. Chargers are going to be good, and don't sleep on Guyton. You know, as the 3rd or 4th wide receiver, because if Palmer can't step up to the plate, Guyton's a big play guy. And we're waiting.
I'm about to boot him and just let the computer take it, or let somebody in the chat.
There, I just restarted the clock. Let him get on and pick.
Hey,
There it is. That's who I thought he was going to take. So, all right. So Zach Ertz is now gone, and he is back up. Oh, Alex put his on. Alex went with Jalen Waddle. You son of a bitch.
That's
Well,
your guy.
he's also on
Yeah.
auto, so that was an auto draft.
Unless he put his queue up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible.
It is very possible. Justin's on the clock now. Justin went with Zach Wilson. Damn it! I wanted Jalen Waddle.
Enjoy that.
I think you take a step this year. I do.
Tua and Wilson.
Damn, what am I going to do now?
Damn.
I wanted Jalen Waddle bad. Now I feel like I'm desperate. I'm going to make a bad selection because I'm not thinking clearly.
Oh. Loose off for a second. Step back.
I like Terry McLaurin, but I like him as a player. I don't necessarily like him as a fantasy asset.
Upgrade a quarterback.
Yeah. And I like
Yeah,
Allen.
he'll get overthrown by 5 yards instead of 10.
But so I like Allen and I like McLaurin, but I also like Pittman. And I think the upside's there with Pittman, man. I think, especially with Jonathan Taylor taking so much attention away.
Justin's going to curse you out.
Ah, man. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go Michael
If you
Pittman
don't, I am.
Yeah.
Michael
I love
Pittman's
it.
gone.
All right.
It's getting tough here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tight, you know. Let me see. I wanted Pittman. You sniped him.
Man, what a drop off from Jalen Waddle to Pittman, though.
It might not be much, to be honest with you. I'm going to go with 3 spots, but. Hey.
I might be in the minority here, but I actually like Pittman better than both of the Miami wide receivers.
Ooh.
You are definitely in the minority.
Right?
You know what? I'll take him. Give me Scary.
Terry McLaurin off the board. Jared's on the clock. Jared's in here talking smack to his co-host Nino in the chat. Elijah Mitchell, okay. Jared's first running back. I believe it's his first running back. Yes, it is. Campy's on the clock. He went Leonard Fournette last round.
Oh, here we go. It's a different league, Jared.
Different scoring system.
Thank you.
For those listening who can't actually see that, what's the beef? What's going on? What is Jared saying?
I think TJ Hawkinson finishes higher than Waller. That's our bathroom bet. So he's trying to blow smoke at me because I took him stack, but the scoring's different here, pal.
All right. So then Campy went with Keenan Allen, and George, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that Keenan Allen pick. I honestly, Campy. That was a good pick. I was hoping to get Keenan Allen here. Unfortunately, you had great taste in wide receivers at that point, and you took Keenan Allen. So I'm going to take another guy who I'm high on, who I believe has the potential to finish within the top 12 wide receivers. he's posted huge seasons before. He's finally got himself a quarterback. I believe he's the alpha on this team. Give me Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mike Williams. So Cortland Sutton followed by Mike Williams. And then Nate is on the clock. Nate went back-to-back running back. So Nate's actually got himself 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs. He's got Eckler, Javonte, Montgomery, and then he's got Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan. So let's see if he goes wide receiver here. There he goes, DJ Moore off the board. Jason, you're on the clock.
There is a guy who fell to me who I thought would be gone for sure. A lot of touchdowns. I'm expecting a lot of touchdowns this year.
He's not going to have 16. He's not going to have 16 touchdowns this year, Jason.
He doesn't need 16. He doesn't need 16. He just needs to get me 10.
I think that's doable. I think 10 touchdowns for James Conner, I think, is doable.
I mean, he catches the ball out of the backfield.
Yep.
He had the second or third most red zone rushes last year. I'm taking James Conner here.
Will he play a full season?
He did last year.
Sure.
Most of it, right?
Yeah, most of it.
I think he played 14 games.
Yeah, I mean, look, how many running backs played the full season last year?
That's a good point.
But they have
That's fair.
They have suspect behind him, except for my guy Ingram, and that's why I feel Ingram's going to take a lot of those third down and goal line roles.
So Chuck went with Judy and Metcalf, and Judy, if he could be anything like close to what he was in college, man, Judy. It'll be very interesting to see how he looks with Russell Wilson because Judy is crisp. He is very crisp. And then he got DK Metcalf, so high upside. So back-to-back wide receivers, huh, Chuck?
Now I got a stack on both my quarterbacks. I'm stacking Judy with Wilson, and I'm stacking Zeke with Prescott.
So I'm going to throw out that I think there are a ton of nice wide receivers left, but what there aren't a lot of is nice running backs. I think they are going to – we talked about this in our Best of the West episode on last night. Was it last night? I don't know. My days have gone. On Sunday night, Josh Jacobs. I think they're going to run the absolute crap out of him, and a new head coach there means the possibility of receptions out of the backfield. So I'm taking Josh Jacobs.
I like it.
Those are great last 2 picks.
I think Samir takes his job.
Thank you.
Come on.
I think it's going to happen.
They brought in too many guys to be able to give Jacobs passing.
And they drafted Zamir. It's their guy. We'll see.
Where did they draft him again? I'm sorry.
The running back. It don't matter where running backs get drafted.
Third round?
It matters that he was drafted.
Yeah.
They selected him. They picked him. I mean, you could be undrafted. It's still a guy they brought in. They didn't bring in Josh Jacobs. All right. So Marquis Brown. So Campy's probably pissed because that's not Campy. I'm sorry. Jared's probably pissed because that's an Oklahoma player. He probably wanted. George, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I'm looking through to see who I actually want here. There is somebody I do want, and I would absolutely be thrilled to take him right now. But the issue is the quarterback. I don't know who his quarterback is going to be on the year. So that absolutely terrifies me. So what I'm going to go to, and again, this is going to be, yes. If I knew who the quarterback there was, I'd be a lot more confident in Cooper. But best case scenario is Deshaun Watson, which I don't believe is what it's going to be. Worst case scenario, I believe it's going to be Jacoby Brissett, and I've seen Jacoby Brissett throw in Miami, and it's not pretty. It's not anything I want anything to do with. So what I'm going to do is another risk. At this point, I think Michael Thomas, the upside that he offers to stack with Winston is top notch. If I can get even 75% of what Michael Thomas was at this point in the draft in the 7th round, I'm happy with that return.
Like it.
Yeah.
Check out Jacoby Brissett's game started stats to Jimmy Garoppolo. Mind blowing. Ain't that bad.
I don't have to. I got to watch with my own eyes, and Jacoby Brissett is not that guy.
Hey, Campy went with Dobbins. I was hoping Dobbins fell to me. Jared went with Dawson Knox, so Knox is off the board. Nino, you're on the clock.
I wanted Dobbins. Once
Me
again, I'm
too.
getting sniped left and right.
Me too.
I don't believe in said. Ron Rivera scares me because every comment he comes up with means it's going to be 2 or 3 running backs. Miles Sanders can't score.
Miles Sanders can't stay on the field.
I love Damian Harris because he gets the goal line, but Patriots got way too many backs. I'm going to go A.J. Dillon.
And I'm just going to go with Gibson. I agree with you. I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm just going based upon talent and just hoping that it hits. This is like similar to George's selection of Winston. You know, I'm just hoping that all the stars align. Antonio Gibson gets a full workload, and everybody, we finally see what we expected out of him coming out of Memphis. So I'm taking Gibson, and then Justin's on the clock here.
Didn't they draft a guy?
Yeah, that's the guy, B-Rob. I'm scared. Ron Rivera's saying they're going to use him like D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. I want no peace because they wanted McKissick back. They obviously offered him something to tear him away from Buffalo. So there's too many guys there for me. Anyway.
No, I agree. I'm just based.
You're going to swing for the talent and hope you hit.
All these running backs right here, guesses now. Guesses.
And they're all in RBBCs. So,
I mean, Pollard's a guy that. Oh, there goes a kicker, Justin Tucker. Justin takes
Toledo.
So I want to take this opportunity to say that if you're not familiar with the Scott Fish Bowl, if you are drafting the Scott Fish Bowl on Sleeper, it is 100% required that you draft a kicker. If you're drafting on MFL, you don't have to draft a kicker, but it is an option to flex kickers. And the reason why that is on MFL MFL, there's a setting to where you can flex your kicker, but Sleeper doesn't have the.
Cooks is a good steal. That's a steal pick right there.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, Cooks there is big.
That's great.
Miles Sanders, Amari Cooper. For Matt, Alex is on the clock, so he's got Waddle and Cook. Those are 2 great wide receivers there. He did very well in the last 2 rounds. All right, Ryan Tannehill, he gets a quarterback here. Shoot.
Alex take his 3rd quarterback. I was actually looking at Tannehill at this point in the draft because I'm still the only person in the draft with 1 quarterback.
I'm not a Tannehill fan, but the value right now.
Me and Sean. I'm sorry. Me and Sean are the only 2 that have 1 quarterback. Everybody else has at least 2.
Mariota.
It was Mariota. Dang, man. I don't know what to do here. I really like Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Snipe me again.
I do.
First, St. Brown now.
I like St. Brown, but I also like Treylon Burks because I think he's just going to get opportunity, but I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown I think he's got a higher ceiling of the 2 players. Another guy I like, but I think I might be overdrafting him would be Darnell Mooney. I think I like him more than most. So I'll hope, and I'm speaking this out loud because this is just an exercise. I'd hope that he'd come back to me, but I do like Darnell Mooney, especially if that's my wide receiver 3. I'm feeling pretty good about it. But let me go with Amon-Ra St. Brown just for ceiling. So there goes that. Nino, you're on the clock. There he goes to Mooney. I like it. He ain't making it back.
He wasn't making it back. Those are the 2 guys. If I look at running backs that are available, the value between St. Brown and Mooney and the targets they're going to get, the volume, I couldn't pass it up.
I like it. Makes me feel good about comparing the 2. It makes me feel like I wasn't too far off. Right, Jared went with Carson Wentz, and Campy's on the clock now. Rich is saying Treylon Burks is this year's preseason Jamar Chase. How everybody was somehow scared of Jamar Chase during preseason. He was dropping balls, and then it came out that he was saying he wasn't training with NFL balls. He was training with college footballs. That's why he was having a hard time adjusting to the NFL football. But look at that now. We all feel silly about it.
It didn't have the white stripes on it.
Yeah, I concerned that that's a lot of you got 2 rookies, wide receivers, and you got a number 2 wide receiver coming off an ACL injury. And a lead running back coming off a big foot injury. That's a lot of injuries in rookies to
but
go out there.
With Burks, I feel like you can because he's kind of a tweener, you can game plan him forced touches. So I think they're gonna force the ball to him, which I thought the Jaguars would do with Laviska Shenault. They never did it. I still believe in the guy. I can't give up on Laviska Shenault. I think
Trade him to Green Bay.
Dude, do something with him, man, or Kansas City. I think he's talented. I do, but I've been wrong before. George, you're on the clock.
Yep. So what I did is I'm looking at these quarterbacks here, and it is a poo-poo's nest.
Sorry?
To be very polite, it is poo-poo at this point.
Davis Mills.
No, there is one guy that I am going to take. He has been pooped on a lot by the fantasy industry. But they upgraded him and they gave him a bunch of weapons. They drafted a new rookie wide receiver. I'm hoping I can get something from him. Give me some Jared Goff.
That's not a bad play.
Yeah.
Not a bad play at all. The last 6 weeks of the year, he was good.
Yeah. My plan this draft, honestly, I was hoping to get either Tannehill or Carson Wentz at this point in the draft in the 8th round. And this way I could go in with Winston and one of the other guys as my QB2. And what I was actually thinking about doing is not starting a second quarterback. Just having a second starting quarterback on my bench. And instead of doing a second quarterback in my super flex position, taking all these other high-value players and using them in the flex positions instead. This way I can avoid taking a quarterback with a higher round draft pick.
I dig it. George is thinking.
Jared Goff. Is it safe to say Jared Goff is surrounded by more talent right now in Detroit than he was with the Rams?
He had Todd Gurley. He had Robert Woods. They had Cooper Kupp. I'm still saying they had more talent in LA
Swift,
than they did.
Hawkinson, Chark, St. Brown, and J-Mo.
Yeah, I would still say give me what they had.
You're going on Kupp, though, on his performance this year. Kupp then wasn't what he was this year.
This is true. But how much of that was Jared Goff versus Matt Stafford? Because we didn't see Kupp turn into this until he had Matt Stafford at quarterback.
I agree. I'm just saying. I think the kid gets pooped on a lot.
He does.
I'm not saying he's top 10.
You're here for the poop talk. So that's the titles. We've said poop about 15 times this episode.
I think it's fair to look at Jared Goff as a top 20 quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, let me read off the selections that went after Goff. We had Kareem Hunt, Adam Thielen, Rashad Bateman, and then Chuck went back-to-back Damian Harris, Tony Pollard. So, Jason, you're back on the clock. Your last selection was Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, and this is a guy I don't like a whole lot, but you know what? Running backs, again, especially in this area, are very thin.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take this guy anyway.
CH.
You know.
Scared.
You're taking ninth round. Ninth round's where I think he should go.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying the value was bad. I get scared with the way he played last year, and they brought in, Rojo, who I'm not really worried about, but it's like, what? Really? I don't know. That backfield's a mess.
Yeah.
Talk about scared. Godwin is was the best talent still on the board, but a lot of rumors about him playing really late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if the Bucs are playing for the Super Bowl,
yeah.
So if they think if they're in their head, they're already in the playoffs. If that's where they project they're going to be, why rush him back?
That's why Russell Gage is my diamond, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Renfro went, and then Godwin. I love Renfro. He's going to get a lot of first downs this year. That's a steal right there.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking at here for this pick is a guy that he led a lot of teams to championships last year.
Cordell Patterson?
No. Cordell Patterson was hot. I mean, he was absolutely hot first half of the year, but he cooled. This guy, literally, if you had him through your playoff run, man, you crushed it every single week. You got him off waiver wire.
Penny.
It is Rashard Penny. And I don't mind taking him this late. I do believe he will be the starter. I don't believe Chris Carson's coming back. I think that neck injury is more severe than they're leading on. And I think Penny will get the bulk of the carries. And even though they drafted Walker, I still think Penny is going to be the man there.
They paid him. They gave him a 1-year deal. They paid him for a reason.
1 year prove it deal, and
This is why they
he is a
drafted him.
former
They
first-round
drafted him
pick.
for that sample size
As
that they
long
gave
as he
him.
can remain
6
healthy.
weeks they had.
All right, we got Campy.
Yep.
Campy went Freiermuth in the last round. He is on the clock now.
Yep.
So getting back at Penny, like Penny went on a run at the end of the season that was very, very good. The problem I have, because a lot of people say that they talk about how many yards he had, 700, around 700 yards, 6 touchdowns last 5 games. What they don't tell you is 4 of those last 5 games were against the absolute worst
Nice
rushing
pick, Jared.
defense in the league. So it's
What, second against yards after contact though. So I mean, the defense is stunk, but he was breaking tackles.
I mean, look, anybody can break tackles against the Detroit Lions. Did you watch the Lions play like that? It doesn't impress me that you can break tackles against the worst rush defense.
But
I'm not saying it's bad.
Well, so do we take those stats away from Derrick Henry when he plays the Jaguars and the Colts twice a year?
No, but what you can do is look when he actually played some talent. So he played against the Rams and the 49ers and combined for 79 yards and 0 touchdowns in those 2 games. The 2 of
what
the
was
6
his
games.
What was his receiving totals in those games?
I have to look, but it's still pretty.
Nino, you're on
low.
the clock, pal.
All right, those are 2 top 10 defenses though.
Okay, I mean, I'm just saying, like he doesn't get to
one side to the other.
He doesn't get to play the Bears and the Lions again this year.
Yeah, he's going to be playing them 4 times this year.
Yeah, so that's my point. Look, Penny had a good run if he can, and then we could always talk about his health. If he can stay healthy, I'm not going to say he's going to be bad. I'm just like we have to like temper the look at that run. And to be fair, George didn't point to that at all when he took him. He is one of the last starting running backs here left on the board, so it makes sense to take him.
So I think. Since it's talking about starting running backs, I'm not a fan. I'm scared because it's clogged, but I think that Chase Edmonds might be the last guy left. Why did I go auto?
Because you ran out of time. So
it said a
George,
minute something.
It lied to you. I'm glad. I thought I'm taking Cordell Patterson after you take Chase Edmonds. Dude. I'll go full upside. I don't care if he's just the first half of the season again this year.
It's hold on a second. Pause.
It's George's internet.
No, it has not. No, I kept removing the player, and then it would just automatically
Auto
put
draft.
somebody else.
You got to turn auto off, Nino. I think you got to click your.
Yeah, I got you.
There we go.
So you want to Chase Edmonds, right?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Okay.
I'm going with Cordell Patterson. Flex play, high upside. He did very well for me last year, so I'm going to take that selection. And
He's only one position this year now, right?
Yeah, running back, which is
it.
That's fine. Well, and I'm going to play him in flex. So
he's going to start over Algier?
I think he'll probably play running back. He'll probably play more than Algier. I think he'll play wide receiver. I think he'll play running back.
Hey Jason.
Yes, sir.
For the playoffs for the Seattle Seahawks, they're scheduled. They get the 49ers in Seattle, then they get home to the Jets, and they get the Arizona Cardinals. Just want to throw it there.
You got to make it there.
You got to make it there. But I mean, taking him in the 10th round. I mean, come on.
Right. No, I agree with you, George.
Justin went Juju. Alex went Elijah Moore. And now Matt is on the clock. His last selection was Amari Cooper.
Running back on the board. And I don't know. I just feel he could possibly take over the RB1 role by midseason.
By the way, Chuck, you've been awfully quiet.
Yeah, what's going on, Steele?
I'm just trying to get a feel for the draft, Scott Fish, you know.
Chuck, I do want to say I love your pick of Tony Pollard.
And then it made me comfortable. I had a little issue going with Pollard already having Zeke and not having my lineup filled up already. But if they really do put Pollard in some slot positions this year, and God forbid something happens to Zeke and he goes down, I think Pollard's a gold mine. It's like you said, taking chances. I think he's a perfect player to have on my roster.
So there's about 4 or 5 true running back handcuffs in the NFL that I would absolutely love to have on my team, and Pollard is the 101 of those handcuffs.
Oh yeah, completely explosive.
DeAndre Hopkins. So I am on the clock here. Man, where do I want to go? I talked about Treylon Burks earlier. love the talent that is Brandon Ayuk. Claypool's interesting. But I've been thinking about Mike Gesicki for the last 2 rounds, and he's still here. I'm going to try to go with 2 tight ends, and having him as my second. I don't think I'd be comfortable if he was my first, but having him as my second, I'm going to throw Mike Gesicki out there. So I got Gesicki. Nino, you're on the clock.
All right, I got 3 running backs. I got 3 receivers. A little kind of stuck here. I'm not sure whether to go running back or receiver again. But this running back, this is the guy I was saying, he could be RB1 by mid-year. I'm going to go Ramondre Stevenson.
You got your New England running
By
back. By
RB1, do you mean RB1 in the NFL or RB1?
No, come on, George. I'm not. Oh, jeez. I'm just saying you could be RB1 in New England, and RB1 in New England.
Listen, you're from New England, man. I those Patriot fans, some of them, I'm not saying you fit this, but some of them are crazy. Some of them think Mac Jones is the best quarterback in the NFL. Clearly, he's not.
He's not. I've already had multiple discussions. I give you a hard time. I'm a real Patriots fan. I understand that if we don't make the playoffs this year, it's probably going to be a few years. We're not winning the Super Bowl.
You're not making the playoffs.
Mac Jones is a manager. He could be a little bit better than a game manager for what he is. I think we're seeing his ceiling. He could grow a little bit this year. But the running game, you brought in 2 more running backs. And Damian Harris is on the last year of his deal. And Bill doesn't like to pay guys. So
now, my issue is
Ingram. Damn, Jared. You know what? I saw Evan Ingram. He's so low on the rankings. That's why I wanted over Gesicki.
That's his guy.
I forgot about Ingram. I forgot about Evan Ingram because how low he is in sleeper. I got that just goes to show you one thing I need to do. I'm not used to drafting on sleeper. I'm used to drafting on MFL, but what I do and what works for me is I print out. I make my own rankings and I print them out and then I cross them off with a Sharpie. I'm gonna need to do that before I go into SFB because I get lulled to sleep during these drafts and then I lose track of guys that are so far down. Jared, man, between Evan Ingram, Jared Cook. He's got some very solid picks. He sniped me on Trevor Lawrence. So
James
good.
Cook.
All right. What did I say?
Jared
Cook. I'm sorry, but I've been burned by Jared Cook multiple times as a Cowboys fan. So whenever I see Jay Cook, that's what I think of. Mr. Toe Taps himself. All right. Yes, James Cook. Campy went with Brandon Ayuk, and then George, you're back on the clock.
Yep, and I'm ready to make this pick. There is a guy that I still believe is going to end up being the team's wide receiver 1. I don't know why it just did that to me. My phone's acting crazy. But I've got to scroll back up here and get him. I'm going to be going with Robert Woods. He new out there. Yep, Bobby Trees. New out there in Tennessee, but I still believe he'll come back from that ACL, and I still believe he'll end up being the wide receiver 1 in Tennessee.
I love the pick.
All right, Sean, Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
I like it.
Probably the second target getter in Chicago.
Breakout season for Cole Kmet this year. Lock it in.
And then Nate went with Alan Lazard. I thought he was going with him in the 3rd round, but he waited until the 10th, so he got him. Jason, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, literally, the last 2 picks were my next 2 in line. So I'm on tilt just a little bit.
I'm just gonna tell you, the next guy I'm gonna be picking, I think, is a wild card, huge wild card, big boom bust play. I can't wait to come back to my selection so I can take this cat.
Sir, Mitch Trubisky is not going to be there. I've already put my stamp on it. He's going to be on my team on Sleeper. I am going to change his name to Chaos Grenade, and that is what Mitch Trubisky is going to be this year in Scott Fishbowl. Nothing more than a Chaos Grenade.
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here. This is probably they paid him a bunch, and I think Christian Kirk's in for some points and for some decent sized games.
Christian Kirk off the board. Chuck,
I think they paid him a bunch because that team stinks, and so they had to overpay players to come there.
Yeah. I'm going to go with a wild card here. I think this player has a big potential for a huge season. And, Coach, I hope this isn't your man. So let's
I hope it is.
It is. That was him.
When you said it, I was like, oh, no.
That's the guy. No, I think that's the dude who, I mean, he could win people some games this year if he comes out, because he looked good, dude. He looked electrifying. He just can't get out of his own way.
And oh man, I was looking at Ingram and both Komet before and took him right from underneath me, and I don't know who to go with my second pick. So let's just go with let's fill my tight end void.
Yeah,
Henry's gone.
Tight ends are getting thin. There is a guy I really like. Man, he's way down on this list though.
Oh man.
You know what?
Give him to me, buddy.
I don't have one, but I like this guy better than any of the ones that are left, especially with the quarterback in the place he plays. So I'm going to take Gerald Everett here.
I thought you were going with Taysom Hill.
Oh, he was cut out at that point when we did the tight ends.
Please don't do it.
Nate is on the clock. Michael Carter from UNC to the New York Jets. Oh, Sean went with Russell Gage. Nino's probably tilting right now.
You know, it is what it is.
So we're gonna wrap this thing up after the 12th. So we're in the 11th right now. We're about an hour and 10 in. So we're gonna finish the 11th and the 12th, and then we're gonna wrap this thing in. So most of us, we got 2 picks left. So George, you're on the clock.
Yeah. So we all agree that the Scott Fishbowl, high risk, high reward, right?
Yeah.
And I've pretty much, if you look at what I've done, I've taken a lot of high risk. It's either all in, or you could go chalk, play it safe, and you'll have a decent record, but you got 0 chance at winning.
Fortune favors the bold, George.
And this is somebody who I don't even believe is going to play this year. I 100% believe he's going to be suspended. But by chance, I got a top 5 quarterback in the 11th round if he does play at all. So I at the 11th round, I will absolutely risk it and take Deshaun Watson at this point.
I was considering him in the 9th and the 10th.
Yeah, I just about took him but I didn't have a tight end. So
I looked at my quarterbacks. Like if Deshaun Watson somehow plays, and I can roll with him and Winston as my 1-2 with Goff as my 3, like I'm sitting pretty at that position, which I found to be my weakest position on this team so far. So, but there's also the chance that I also don't believe he's playing at all. So it could be just a pick that I just threw away. But again, I'm playing against 2,000 people, so I need to take something that's a high risk. I don't have 2 set 'em forget 'em quarterbacks.
All right, Noah Fant off the board. Jared is now on the clock. Treylon Burks, there he is.
I thought about that. Man.
Tony Gage and Burks. Bang, bang, bang.
All right, who's next?
Who do you think?
Who are you taking?
Getting tough now.
Devontae Parker's available.
Yeah.
Listen, come on. I don't want any of them. They traded a lot for this guy. I love London, but they traded a lot. I call it quarterback capital for him. So I'm going to go with Olave because I think he's wide receiver 1 there.
All right. And these guys have been talking about this cat in the chat. Tyler Lockett, still available. You know, as my wide receiver 4, sign me up. All right. So I'm taking Tyler Lockett. Justin's on the clock. Justin went Hopkins, Juju. Justin's the only guy with a kicker right now. So
I wish Justin was here. Sorry, I wish Justin was here because knowing he's the only one with a kicker through round what round are we at 11? I wonder if he regrets taking a kicker in the 7th round at this point. Because I know if it was me, there's probably about 30 players taken after Justin Tucker I would much prefer than to take a kicker.
Yeah.
Drake London, there he goes. Alex Irv Smith, and Matt's up for his final 2 picks in this draft. He went like Jarvis Landry.
Hey, Coach, when it gets back to you, just as a heads up, I'm going to pause the draft, and I'm going to change. I'm gonna change the settings, so we only do 12 rounds. Okay. And so this way we don't have to worry about the rest of it running.
Don't do that, George, because that'll make the rest of us take a kicker.
Huh.
Okay.
You know, we have to take a kicker, so if you cut it short, then all of our picks will have to be a kicker.
Okay, then they're all just going to auto.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we could just pause it when it's over.
Yeah.
And just wrap it up. All right. Albert Okweg-Bunham went to Matt after Jarvis Landry. Alex went Irv Smith and Devin
Quit being
Singletary.
fancy. Just call him Albert.
Justin went for another kicker.
Another kicker.
Yeah, he's basically, he just gave us the
Double
the middle
down.
finger, man. I love it. Drake London, Evan McPherson. I'm on the clock. And I'm going to go with Dameon Pierce. I think he could be a rookie. You know, he has a chance to be one of the higher scoring rookie running backs. I think he doesn't have much competition out there in Houston, so we'll see what he does. All right, Nino, go ahead.
I'm going to take his competition. How about that?
That's fair. I think that works.
I think they're going to lean on Mac at least midway through the year. So,
Return of the Mac.
All right, Jared is on the clock.
He had a stud year in Indy, got hurt, and they drafted Jonathan Taylor. It's not really his fault, you know. Kind of fell into a crappy situation.
No one was banging down his door though to bring him in.
People get scared when you get an ACL injury.
I love that pick by Jared. Jared, that's a fantastic pick.
Jared, is that his fourth? Did we guess it? Does he have 4 Sooners, Nino? We got Lamb.
2, 3. Yeah, 4. Right.
I knew it. I got it pinned down. All right, Davis Mills, the neck himself. George, you're on the clock.
Yep, and I mentioned earlier about running back handcuffs. And sorry, hold on, I'm getting an Amber Alert of all things right now.
Me too.
Of all the running backs that are still on here, I said there's a very few 4 to 5 true handcuff running backs that I want on my team. Dalvin Cook has not been a very healthy running back throughout his career. He misses games here and there. And when he does, Alexander Madison fills in like it's nobody's business. So I'm
Kene Nwangu.
I don't care. His name is not Alexander Madison. So I'm going to go with Alexander Madison here, hoping I can get 3 to 4 games out of him as a starting running back. And for those that have not been in the SFB before, these later rounds, these handcuff running backs are super valuable, especially if you know that there is a quick pathway to starter snaps. For like a example, Alexander Madison, because you're going to get to the point where you're going to have to start these guys throughout the year, and you're going to be thankful. Last year, I got lucky with all the running back injuries that happened at the beginning of the year. I ended up getting 3 new starting running backs from guys I took in like the 9th, 10th, and 12th round. And that carried me to the playoffs last year.
All right. Well, after Madison went Daniel Jones, who's another guy I was thinking about picking because this has got to be his year. It's make or break for him. They shored up that offensive line. They got him some weapons. I mean, I'm not a Daniel Jones fan, but this is got to be the year, and I think it's worth a pick there. So good job, Sean. Nate went Mitch Trubisky. So George,
I love it. I love it.
Jason went with Tim Patrick in the final pick of this mock. Where are we going, Chuck?
Mr. Irrelevant for this mock draft. I don't want to leave Justin hanging, so we'll go kicker.
Daniel Carlson. All right. So this mock draft is completed. What we're going to do is when this is all said and done, we'll probably take the graphic from these 12 rounds. We'll throw it up on toiletstotitles.com. So anybody who is listening at home, you don't have to write all this down. I doubt you would, but you don't have to. You can watch it on YouTube, or you can go to toiletstotitles.com and you can check it out. For everybody who is getting ready for those SFB drafts, like we said, the main thing is fortune favors the bold. I would just suggest don't play it safe. There's no reason to be safe. Big picks. You need to be lucky. You need to be lucky in this one, and it's all about giving yourself an opportunity to be lucky. So everybody, I do appreciate you coming on. Jason, George, Nino, Chuck, and I know I got to thank Sean because this was his first podcast ever, and he came on and he killed it with some excellent analysis. So thanks to him. And then thanks to everybody who drafted from home, Matt, Alex, Justin, Jared, Campy, Nate. I know Nate's out. He got called out. He does electrical work, and he had to go out in an emergency this evening. So be safe. And I know Justin's out there driving, so you be safe as well. Everybody listening at home, good luck. I hope you enjoy this thing. SFB is a lot of fun. And hopefully maybe some of you will be sneaking into some of these guys' leagues, maybe their divisions, and you watch this episode so you could figure out what they're doing so you could snipe them. So if that's the case, good on you. All right, make sure you subscribe to the channel, throw us a 5-star review. Does anybody have some final thoughts before I end this thing?
Now, I just want to wish everybody good luck this year, especially you first timers. Enjoy the experience, and like Coach said, I'd want to emphasize it. Be bold. Don't go chalk. It's tempting to go chalk. It's tempting not to take big risk, but you're playing against 2,000 people, and the only way you're going to make any type of noise is by taking these risks. And if they pay off and they hit, you're going to be sitting pretty. If they don't hit, odds are you weren't going to win to begin with. So there's no point in not taking risk.
Also, I do want to give a shout out to SFB Abby makers, and especially our dude Andrew Campy, who's getting it done. If you look at some of the avatars they've been making, especially Campy, they are crushing it. So at SFB_Abby makers, go check them out. Get yourself an avatar. You know what I'm saying? And request Andrew Campy because he does good work. I'm sure he's going to be pissed off that I mentioned to request him, but request him. All right, everybody, I appreciate you. Stay safe. Have a good week. I hope you're enjoying your summer, and good luck in the SFB12 draft. Take care.